this down and we'll break down the chart. So looking over at today, we don't have much going on. We actually don't have much going on this week, but today we have a U.S. bank holiday, so you guys might want to just chill on trading in some of the zones that a lot of our pairs are in right now, a lot of the ranges that our pairs are in, and just wait for those ranges to break. Right? Don't rush anything. Take today. Not off, but take today like lightly and just be able to wait for tomorrow, wait for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and stay patient for those days. I'm not saying that you're not going to have a move, right? You're gonna have some volatility today, but today is one of those days. Maybe you either want to lower your risk or maybe even not even take some of those opportunities. The one or two opportunities that you have throughout the day. So. Other than the U.S. bank holiday today, we do have Bullard and Lagarde testifying over here today in front of the European Systematic Risk Board. So she'll be speaking in front of them around 11 a.m. Bullard is going to be speaking as well. But what we have over here is Reserve Bank of Australia. Lowe is going to be speaking, and then monetary policy meeting minutes. That's why the Australian dollar is so strong today. I believe it's our strongest currency. But again, you got Lagarde and a few FOMC members speaking today, but that's about it. No U.S. banks or no cash exchanges or anything like that going on today. Moving into tomorrow, what you're going to have is core retail sales coming out of Canada. I almost like, oh my God, I'm splurging over here. Canada. Existing home sales coming out of the U.S. bank. So that's basically all we have for tomorrow. Again, like I said, we have a pretty light week. Moving into Wednesday, it picks up just a little bit. You got CPI coming out, PPI as well, and RPI coming out of coming out of Great Britain. Moving into later in the New York session, you got some Canadian CPI coming out as well, and then Powell is going to be testifying around 9:30 a.m. So we'll see what he has to say. I'm sure it's not much different from last week, but we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Moving into Thursday now, we have a lot of manufacturing and services PMI coming out of Europe starting in the morning, going into the New York session where we have unemployment claims coming out of the U.S. You have flash manufacturing and services PMI coming out of the U.S. And then Powell's going to be testifying 15 minutes later. All right, so keep an eye on that. You have a bank holiday coming out of NZD. So I know, Jamie, you haven't really been looking at NZD USD anymore, but just keep that in mind if you are. You do have consumer confidence coming out for Great Britain, so we'll see where that's at. I'm sure that's not going to be too good. They're expecting negative 40 over here. Their stock market is not looking good. The pound is definitely down right now. The only reason why GJ is rallying right now is because of the weakness in the yen. Right? If you guys take a look at GBP USD, you'll see that thing is on its way down. Right? So, moving into Friday, you got retail sales coming out, German IFO business climate. So this is going to be big if you're trading EJ, Jamie. But you got retail sales coming out during London. And then moving into later in the morning, Lowe is going to be speaking at the Bank of Australia. You have Bullard's going to be speaking as well. MPC member Pill is going to be speaking over here. And then later in the morning, University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations will be coming out as well. New home sales as well. And I believe I was just reading the Great Britain's home sales are its lowest since January. Or no, actually not home sales, but I believe it was price increases have kind of stalled out since January. So that was pretty interesting. It's just another little nugget, another little piece of information for you moving into like why we're basically heading into a recession. So it's good to know. What's up, Sammy? Morning, buddy.
Morning.
Good morning. How was your weekend, man?
It was a good one. Enjoyed it.
What did you do?
Barbecues all weekend.
Oh, that's right. On Father's Day? Do you guys have Father's Day?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what you guys did? Just barbecue?
Yeah.
Good stuff. You have a good time?
Yeah, got the family over.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at gold over here. We're sitting in a range. I'm going to break it down right now, but looking at GJ, Let's take a look at the monthly. So, or no, yeah, let's go back to the monthly. So the monthly again ended up retracing back up, right? Where we ended up creating a very small bottom wick over here, right? And then what we did was actually, yeah, we think we created that bottom wick. And then we pushed beyond this previous bearish candle over here and retested yearly highs right up here around 168, right? So once we did that, we ended up flipping bearish over here, right? And now we're right back where we are, right? So looking over here, we're sitting right above 165 right now. So where are we going to go on the monthly? Are we going to end up closing a very strong bullish candle over here? We're going to close like weak right around here where we're not really engulfing this candle. We'll see where we end up closing. But like I said, the only reason why GJ is so bullish right now is the weakness in the Japanese yen. Great Britain does not have a healthy economy right now. Their stock market's on its way down. Inflation is soaring right now as well. So there's the only reason you're really buying this pair is because the Japanese yen is so weak. If you guys go take a look at the Japanese yen real quick. As you can see, we created a top wick over here. We're now flipping bearish, passing the low of the previous candle here on the weekly. And we're just probably continuing down over here. That's a healthy top wick. Never passed the high of the previous, retested this previous support. And now we're just heading down over here. So we'll see where the Japanese yen, if you remember this pullback last week over here, we had a pullback, retested this area, gapped all the way down, and now we're just continuing down. So we'll see where we end up over here on the Japanese yen. But we're going to be playing that when it comes to GJ and buying this thing up. So looking at the weekly now, weekly kind of looks similar to how we called the monthly over here, where the monthly closed a very weak bearish candle. The next one created a bottom wick, passed the high of the candle, and continued up. If you look at the weekly over here, closed a very weak bearish candle over here with a long bottom wick. This one created a bottom wick. Are we going to pass the high of that candle over there and continue up to retest this wick? I don't know if we're going to retest this wick, but I could see us closing a strong bullish candle over here, especially if we get maybe some positive numbers coming out of Great Britain this week, like CPI they have retail sales as well, and they have manufacturing and services PMI. So a lot of data coming out for Great Britain, and it's going to be good for us to be trading. Looking at the daily now. Daily looks like a perfect formation over here. We created our yearly highs up here. We come down and retest this level around 163, 162 area over here to hold support. We grab liquidity with this candle, flip bullish, and now we've been printing very strong bullish candles like this one right here with a wick to fill. Is this candle going to fill that wick over there and continue up? All right. I'm just going to mark off this area right here. Get that previous support resistance, and now clearly holding like a strong support to continue up. Again, sitting right above 165. Looking at the 4 hour now. The 4 hour, just going to adjust this just a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put this here. Most recent support. That's all that really matters right now. What you have here is since creating these yearly highs, right? Price has just been making lower lows, lower highs, pushing all the way down into this area over here. Now you could obviously make like a trend line coming down over here, and obviously we clearly broke a while ago. But if you do it like this, you clearly see that we're breaking, right? We held the support, kind of like a little fake out of this area, broke above that resistance, created this high up here, right by that resistance right up there, which we can mark off right here. So you get that previous resistance over here. Price ended up rejecting it over there. Then we came right back down to retest this trend line over here and hold support, right? So now we're kind of like sitting in this range. But what I want you guys to pay attention to is what the candle body anatomy is telling you, where we come up, we create this high, we end up rejecting this previous resistance, we come right back down to this level, you get two consecutive bullish candles closing, which now we have a support, right? Anytime a bullish candle, or what would you call it? Anytime a bullish candle not proceeds but follows, yeah, anytime it follows a bearish candle, you're going to see a support forming, right? So what you ended up getting was two strong bullish candles over here. Then what you get is two very weak bearish candles closing right above 165, right? Holding support right in this area, right? So could we be creating a bottom wick over here, passing the high of that candle over there, and then continuing up to retest these highs up there, right? There's a few things you need to wait for that to happen, but I could definitely see us continuing up from here, right? Especially following these wicks here. Anytime we get wicks like this and weak body candles like that, following a bullish candle with a wick to fill, a lot of the times that wick gets filled and we continue bullish. All right, so now you have your support. You keep holding, right? Now, if you take a look, you got this like trend going where it's like a bullish flag pattern where your price is holding support, but we got these lower highs. Once we break out of this, we can continue up. But the thing is, I would wait for 165, 500 to break over here. I wouldn't be trading in this. This will be your no trade range. And I would really wait for 165, 500 to break. Because once you break that, you got about 65 pips, 70 pips up here in this range over here. And then not to mention, you get a clean move to the left over there as you continue through. So once we break this resistance, 166, 100, where could we be heading up to? I could see the first area being this area right there. Yeah, that previous support holding as a resistance over here, right? And price could very well mirror this candle and continue right up to that 600 level. So I would expect that. Any kind of sells, like I said, we are breaking this bearish trend over here that we've been respecting. We can always adjust this too. See what we're looking like. So right now, again, we're holding a very strong bullish pattern over here. Again, keeping that confluence of the Japanese yen over here. This is the weekly. We've already created a very strong top wick, very long top wick, and we're already flipping bearish and passing the low of the previous candle, right? So could we be continuing up this week, right? After creating this high, consolidating a little bit, and then now this week we're going to continue up to retest that high and continue through 166, right up to 166, 500 or 600. All right, so you definitely see that in the higher time frames over here. Looking at the 30-minute, again, you really want to wait for this level to break, and I could see us trading this level. I could also see us continuing up from here, right? Where we keep rejecting these areas, right? And now we have a very healthy push, a high created, higher low created, strong bullish candle. I could see us pushing through this area, but on a Monday in the US bank holiday close, I'm gonna stay out of that. I'm gonna wait for this area over here to trade. You have plenty of pips in here. There's no need to like just try to force something in here just because you feel like trading, right? So just yes, just wait for this level to break. All right, that makes sense on GJ over here. Take out some of these trend lines. Get a little annoying. Everyone clear on that? Who we got? We got Quentin and Carlos that just came in. What's up, boys?
Morning.
Happy Monday. How you doing?
Thank you. Doing good.
Good to hear.
Yep.
Good to hear. Quentin's back on the old regiment, huh?
Yep.
Love it. All right. So Jamie sending a chart. Beautiful.
This one I squeezed in a little just so we could see some of the levels that I marked to the left and why I marked them.
There we go. Okay, so 142, 278. You're waiting for price to break above that level. You got that little retest right there. And then how many pips do you have from this level here up to like this area?
56.8.
There you go.
And
Definitely
then that
trading
entire
range.
area above it is actually, so the entire range is actually 183.7, but to that hash line is 56.8.
I didn't even see this. That's yeah, this is perfect. Right? Wait for this. We'll actually do like a nice breakdown on EJ, but so far from what I'm seeing over here, I like this. You're holding a higher low. We keep pushing up. Again, this is all based on the strength, the weakness of the Japanese yen. Right? If you guys look at any kind of euro pairs, they're all pretty much down right now. Right? The not UK, but the European economy, German economy, the any economy in Europe right now, especially because of the Ukraine Russian war, is not doing too well, right? So this is all based on the weakness of the yen. So just keep playing this up based on that. So right here, I can see you just waiting for this to break and continue up. Love it. Great job sending your chart as well. All right, so let's wait for that on GJ. We'll go over to gold right now. Take a look at what that's giving us. All right. So gold, looking at the current monthly candle, we're still sitting here above 1830. We just followed a very strong bearish candle with a wick to fill. But right now, this candle, we're showing a lot of indecision this month right here on gold to see where we want to go. We could very well end up closing a very weak doji candle like this as well, or we could hold a strong support with a strong bullish candle or break below 1830. Barely any sleep this weekend. All right. Looking at the weekly now. Ended up closing a very strong weekly candle over here with a wick to fill, right? Are we holding that resistance here around 1870, I believe it is. Yeah, 1870. You always drag that across over here. And price is very well holding very strong candle over here. So this weekly candle, can anybody see this weekly candle creating a top wick and then filling this wick, continuing down? We also have, if you go down to the daily, our level right down here. All right, previous consolidation, held support every single time in here, right? And now we're holding some kind of a support right here, and that is our low that we could be retesting. So again, looking at the candle body anatomy, you guys got this bearish trend since 2000 over here, right? Where price just created the lower highs, lower lows, created this low down here, bounced off this support, right? We come up to this level, 1870, previous resistance, right here, and right here. Price ended up holding a resistance, but also consolidating in this area, right? So what we ended up getting was a break below that area to retest the previous support. We come right back up into that range over there, and then we end up retesting it and possibly continuing down from here. So if you're looking at this range, we come right back and get a deeper pullback. Almost looks like a fake out over here. But you need to pay attention to this area right there. We do have 1830 marked off, but just zoom in a little bit. But right now, we just got a very strong daily candle right here. Again, we do have the support. We may want to wait for price to break. But once you do, you got a clean cut move right back down to the support again, right? Now, last time we were in this area where we held a resistance and we came right back down to that area, what did we end up doing? We ended up pushing below it, flipping bullish and closing bullish and staying in the range. So now we just got a very deep bearish candle closing around the same area. Can this candle push through and continue down, or are we going to hold support again and continue to range in this area? All right. So again, if you're looking for anything, I'm sure a lot of people got faked out with this wick right here. You may want to wait for a nice close below that area or like a retest of this area on the lower time frames before taking this down. But this just goes to show you how strong 1830 is. Get my label. Right. Okay, so again, after holding this support in here, right, we've just been creating higher lows and higher highs, right? So you end up getting this low tapped, higher low, price holds this whole area, right? Another higher low. And now, are we holding a higher low in here to continue up after creating this high up here? Or are we going to continue down from here? Now, looking at the candle body anatomy, we came right back up into this range again, right? Right back above 1830. Create this high. Now we get this low created, lower high right here, strong bearish candle, but we end up holding support right in this area. And that was definitely a previous support right here, right? Previous support. And right now you have this previous support here, which is now our resistance, right? So right now, pretty much this is a no trade range. You need price to break out of here before you continue anything up or down. All right, we did get a strong candle. This candle is like failing to break below all these wicks over here. Now we just got to figure where we're going to go after that if price either breaks out of either way. But again, I can see us bouncing off this area and continuing up, but something tells me after creating this low and then coming right back up here to retest this whole area and then closing a very strong bearish candle that we could very well continue through here. So look at the 1 hour now. 1 hour, we're just going to adjust this. You got that support right there. You have this resistance right up here as well. So again, this is the no trade range. You need to wait for price to break out of this support and continue down, or break out of this resistance. And then you get this area right here to retest. Pretty clean candle right there. Now, I do like this bearish candle close with a wick to fill. We just keep bouncing off this area. Is this 1 hour candle creating a top wick, flipping bearish, and going to fill that wick? Again, you got a US bank holiday and prices all sideways with a lot of wicks here. So do you want to trade in this and take that chance, or do you want to stay out and maybe wait for a better opportunity? But I can see this candle flipping and filling that wick, and that's something that I'll live back test, right? Same thing here. We tap into this area. Just actually adjust that. End up holding a resistance. And ever since then, we've been creating these lower highs over here. Strong bearish candle, very strong bearish candle with a wick to fill. But we did reject this area right here. So we got a bullish 30-minute close, just closed, right? 7 o'clock just turned around. Is this candle going to hold a resistance in here and continue down and fill that wick? Very well could, right? Especially if we don't pass the high of that candle right there. I'm sure the green is confusing. So again, I'm looking for a break out of this area. And once you do, I'm looking for a retest of 1830. So now you got about 60 pips in here that you could grab, right? Beware of this 200 EMA, by the way. But over here, a little bit bigger, I would say. Yeah, almost 70 pips in here that you'll be able to grab as well. All right, everything in here you don't touch. Everyone clear on that? Any questions at all? Nice clear breakdown. No, huh? Nothing? All right. Cool. Let's go into US 30 right now. And I'm gonna break down US 30 for you, and then we'll have somebody else break down another pair. All right. US 30. So clearly we are now in a bear market, right? I think we're down like 30%, something like that, from our all-time highs up here. But right now, as you can see, this is the stock market. And every single time we create a high, we come down, we correct, and price continues right back up to create a new high. So right now we're starting to approach the previous highs from COVID. which were around 29,600, right? If you look, those are the previous highs over here. Ended up crashing, and ever since then, we've been rallying, continuing right back up. Give me 1 second to get up some water. Gotta hydrate, folks. All right. So again, ever since creating these highs up here, we've kind of like stalled out. We've been putting these lower highs, lower lows, breaking previous supports over here, and just continuing down. So we right now are in a bear market. Once we start breaking this level over here, closing and maybe even retesting, it's gonna get a little ugly, right? You're gonna see a lot of panic in the market. Obviously, people are panicking now. A lot of people are losing millions of dollars. But right now, price is on its way down. Could we end up continuing down into this level? And then maybe even the lows from COVID, right? Before possibly continuing up. I can't see this happening, right? Price coming all the way down here and continuing up. But again, with our market and how like unstable it is, I wouldn't put it past anything, right? So let's see what ends up happening here on the lower time frames. But looking at the weekly, there you go. I think that's a pretty accurate level. Actually, you know what? We'll mark it off as nah. We'll keep it there. Around 600, right? Okay, so again, all-time highs up here, lower high, continuing all the way down here, right? So I'm looking at this gap right here. If you guys remember, we broke this down last week. You ended up having, first of all, this level right here, ended up having a low being created with this wick over here before price retraced back up into this level and continued down. And if you guys look at this, this kind of reminds me of gold over here. If you guys remember gold, what we just broke down, that little consolidation where we then came up to retest the area, right? And then we continued all the way back down to fill the wick. So can we be getting the same exact thing on gold over here? If you look at the if you look at the daily on gold, same exact thing. Consolidation, we create this low, come up to retest that area, and then we continue down to break that low and continue through, right? So can we get the same exact thing right over here on gold as we did right here? Looking at the weekly now, it's all you really need to break down on the higher time frames, just because it's you know, it's so high up. We're not going to be touching that area anytime soon. But right here, I just adjusted my zone. You get that current resistance. You have support here with that wick. And then again, you had this. Look at this price action over here. Slowly working our way up this way. Broke through that resistance, created this high, held support, came back up to retest that area, and then broke support over here. And it came right back into this area to grab liquidity before heading back up. So we had a little fake out of this area, and then price continued up from there, right? So now, looking over here, it's our current resistance, but what we ended up getting was a very strong bearish candle close from that area, right? Right here. This candle closed a very weak bearish candle over here. But looking at the daily, this candle is now starting to flip bullish. So we're starting to react off that area. So what's going on in that area over here? That area is actually that previous liquidity grab right here. So last time price came and tapped into this area, we ended up catapulting up, right? So I'm not saying that this is our low on US 30 and we're just going to continue up from here and everything's going to be hunky-dory. What you have here is at least some kind of a reaction to this area, right? And you can play that, especially with this current price action here. Looking at the 4-hour, so just that, you have a range right in here. Is this a tradable range? That's to be seen. But right here, once you break that resistance, you got a pretty nice move coming right up to this area. Yeah, about 650 pips right here. Looking at the 1 hour now. 1 hour, you could clearly see a no trade range, right? You do have the US bank holiday today, so I wouldn't be trading anything on US 30 today. But once we break out of either of these areas, you could be heading down, especially if we break this support over here. I could definitely see us obviously tapping into the 600 area, previous highs from COVID. But I think if we break the support, we'll continue right through that. Excuse me. Again, looking at US 30 here. Basically just sitting in this range. You need price to break out of this range. You have this resistance up here. You need price to break out of too. Price keeps making these higher lows, but we need to break out of that area to continue right back up. Let's take a look at our pairs again. See what GJ is doing, or gold. Again, what I was saying over here was that we created this low. This is really a no trade range, especially in the US bank holiday, but this is that retest. I think we're looking at it on the 1 hour. Where the 1 hour was up here, I said we could flip bearish and continue down to fill that wick. So looking at the 30-minute, look at the area. Can we get, let's see, 30-minute. Can we get either a bearish close or a pass to the low of that wick and a quick scalp right back down to that support? Again, question is, do you want to take that? 15-minute did close bearish, right? So can this candle flip bearish past that wick, past these wicks over here, and can you grab something out of that? You only have about 14, 15 pips to retest this low, which is not a lot on gold at all. So is that worth trying to like squeeze out of the market on a Monday when the US banks are closed? It may not be worth it, right? I know I'm not taking it. Let's take a look at GJ over here. Again, GJ's breaking up. We're holding that support like we said. We just need to break this resistance because you guys clearly don't have enough range right here. You only have about 15 pips. Actually, honestly, like 12 to retest this high up here. You don't want to be like just trying to squeeze that out. Stay patient. You guys are going to do yourselves a big favor, especially your accounts, if you just wait for that close above this area and continue up. And you do that for the majority of the time as a trader. If you just wait for those certain things to happen, you guys are good. Waiting really is a key. I'm just gonna label this. Yeah, 165, 500, I think will be safe buys, and then safer sells are going to be below 164, 600. Beautiful. All right. Anybody have a pair that they want broken down? Or that they want to do it with me? Like, you know, you do your own breakdown and then I'll break it down as well.
What's up, man? Good morning.
Good morning, my man. How are you?
I'm all good. Yeah, I would like to break down UJ.
My man. Good shit.
Nice.
Love that. Good shit, buddy. Just gonna break all that. We are going to zoom out for you. Just gonna do this real quick. Beautiful. All right, so would you like it like this? You want me to zoom in a little bit? Let me know, Carlos.
No, it's good right there for right now.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get this. Oh man. Okay. So How do I
Annotate.
yeah, yeah, I'm looking
You're
for
good.
that.
Yeah,
But
just go into options. I believe it's at the top for you. If you guys could help them, like your Zoom looks a little bit different from mine. So however you guys annotate, I believe it's options and then annotate.
Up at the top of the screen, it says view options. So when you click on view options, there's a drop down, then there's the annotate.
all right, bet. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Found it?
Yeah, oh okay. Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
All right, so what I've been doing lately, I just been starting. Well, I mean, yeah, we starting the monthly, and what I've been doing lately, I just been trying to find the higher highs on the monthly, so which will be right here, and then go to the lower lows.
And do you want a zone or a
Uh,
horizontal line?
Yeah, I'll take a zone.
Okay. We're good?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and then I'll put the lower lows right here for the monthly. I'll get a zone right here, just to know what's the higher high and the lower low.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and then I will move on to weekly.
Okay. Clear that out. Is that how you want it scaled?
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Then on a weekly, I'll do this is the higher high right here. I'll take a zone right there,
Beautiful.
and then I'll take another zone right here for weekly.
Nice.
Then I'll go down to the daily.
He's quick with it.
I would like to adjust this one right here,
Okay.
this zone, just a little more, I guess like more like a little bit higher right here.
Which one?
This one right here.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Like adjust that.
Beautiful.
And this would be my daily support right here. I'll take a zone.
Okay. Take a zone with a Coke and fries.
Yeah, then so far in my eyes, I feel like everything looks good on this time frame.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to move up to the 4 hour.
I like the quickness with the efficiency. It's like, I want my zone here, I want my zone here. It's very confident in like where you want your zones, which is great. That's where you want to be.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, were you asking for something else?
Oh yeah, I'll just go to the 4 hour.
Okay. Okay. Do you want it zoomed in, zoomed out?
Yeah, I like it like that right here.
This, okay.
So this is where sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes when I get to the like once I get to I guess the lower time frames, I start, like for example, for my eyes, I see like this could be a support right here on the 4 hour. Like I feel like sometimes when I get to the lower time frames, I get like I feel like I see a lot of zones, or
Yeah.
like a lot of, but not all of them are trade ranges.
Does that confuse you a lot?
Sometimes, like now, this looks clearly right here. This would be a no trade range. Like this area right here would be like a no trade range to me.
Okay. And what's that area? Like what between here and here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind too, this is the 4 hour. So even
Right.
on the 4 hour, like this is a no trade range. Like you're not going to find any scalps in there.
Oh, because to me it looks like a barcode,
Yeah.
So that's
I'm not asking you like as if like you're wrong. I'm just trying to figure out what your thinking is, because I remember when I first started, there's a lot of things, and sometimes I'll still do it where I'll be breaking down the chart and like breaking down like certain levels and stuff. And sometimes I stop at like the 4 hour of the daily and I'm like, all right, this is a no trade range. And then I forget the fact that we're still on these higher time frames and there's going to be a lot more room on the lower time frames and some more ranges that you could actually trade within that range. Even though it looks a little nasty in the higher time frames, there still is some opportunity. So I was just trying to clarify that with you.
For sure. Yeah, like right now, like let's say if price was to like, like come down this way. See if I could draw like let's say if it like if it breaks and like I would trade this zone for sure. Right here.
Right
But
there.
yeah, yeah, but I'll definitely have to see more on the lower time frames for sure.
Yeah, you get a clean move right there. And guys, if you guys are following on your own computer, go over to gold and take a look at how price on the 30-minute is now passing the low of the previous. The only thing is you have 3 minutes left for that candle to fill that wick. So is that going to happen, or is that candle going to close a strong bearish candle on the 30-minute, and then the next 30-minute candle create a top wick, pass the low of that one, and continue down? So again, we're live back testing that to fill that wick, but that is too small of a range for us to be trading with on a U.S. bank holiday close. I'm sorry, Carlos. So you're all set with the 4 hour?
Yeah. Can you zoom out? Like zoom.
Yes.
I can see Yeah. For now, yeah, I'm okay with the 4 hour for sure.
Okay.
Now I'll go to the 1 hour.
Okay.
So yeah, for the 1 hour, see like all this just is nasty to me right here in between just in between this right here.
Yep.
Like all this in the middle.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess this is where I start like, oh, okay, so it's a lot of wicks, and
Mhm.
I think everything will be cool for me. I think like I would definitely when I even touch this area,
Okay.
I'll probably just wait for like a break out of this right here. Like
Beautiful. I think that's great. Are you all done with your breakdown?
let me see the 30-minute.
Sure.
Because I think, yeah, because everything's, yeah, for sure. I would definitely not do anything.
Well done,
Yeah.
man. So where are your safe sells and buys? I know you said safe sales below this area, but do you have a specific price point that you want price to break, or do you want to adjust this support over here at all?
Yeah, I would want it to just break like at least 133,500.
Okay. So you're looking for like this is your support, 133,500. You're not
Yeah.
taking anything until we break that.
Yeah, just because the way it looks,
Absolutely, dude. I think it was nice and decisive. Only thing I would do differently is like obviously like you have this support over here. You need price to break below that area. I would just adjust this a little bit so it's not so much like in our way, and we have some clear paths for buys. And also trying to figure out like if we break out of that area, where could we be going? Are these all-time highs in USDJPY? Wow, you're in uncharted territory once you start breaking here. 136, I believe. Let me see the 3-month. I can imagine. Yeah. Since 2000 at least. Right? So we're starting to get into uncharted territory up here. So again, looking at the monthly is beautiful. Like we're just pumping up again. Well, I mean, the US dollar has been strong because we've been increasing rates, but Japanese yen extremely bearish. So that's where you're seeing these massive bullish candles over here, right? On USDJPY, and price is just going to continue up from here. Looking at the weekly now. Oh, were you trying to point something out, Carlos?
No, my bad. That was an accident.
Oh, you're good. What we ended up getting was a very strong bullish candle, barely a top wick though. This candle got a lot weaker, right? With a long bottom wick, flip bullish, but closed a very weak bullish candle as far as the body is concerned. So are we going to stall here at all-time highs and start to, are people going to start to take profit and we get some kind of a pullback or a fill of that wick, you're going to need to see like some kind of strengthening in the Japanese yen for that pullback to happen. Okay, the daily actually ended up getting a very strong bullish candle. We created this high, come down to hold support, and we close a very strong bullish candle. So can we continue through here, or are we just going to hold here and basically consolidate like Carlos was saying? Looking at the 4 hour over here, looks like we're holding some kind of a support, previous resistance, right? Price just kind of consolidating it here so far. We are holding a support, but we'll see where we go from here. Looking at the 1 hour. 1 hour, I can adjust this right in here. This is pretty much a no trade range. This is very tricky to trade. This is riskier sells, right? But these are safe sells right below 133,400 to continue down. And definitely safe buys once you start breaking just a little bit. Once you start breaking this previous resistance over there, you got safe buys all the way, I mean, you're just waiting for supports to hold and price continue up. You got nothing to the left to judge. At the 30-minute, same thing. Wouldn't touch this. This is very tricky to trade in. I honestly probably wouldn't do it. But once you start breaking 133,500, you're off to the races. That makes sense?
Yeah. Excuse me. I got a question. So by uncharted area is just like it's free for all at that point, or just
Uncharted area.
like, let's say, like, for example, let's say if UJ does break out of that, but I guess what I'm trying to ask is what is the definition of like an uncharted area? Like,
so this is once you break this resistance over here, you have no history to the left, right? It's like when people first started trading crypto, like you're trying to scalp crypto and you got no history on crypto, right? There's nothing to the left to mirror or anything like that. So once you get into that territory, you're just waiting for supports to hold and you're taking price up. And it's really up to you to figure out like where price is going to be. But the good thing is you're going to create some kind of a high once we break this resistance, right? And then we're going to retrace from that area. You're always going to get some kind of a correction, right? So price is going to retrace, and now you got room to moves to the left that you could be mirroring. Does that make sense?
gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Right. So we're getting gold right now. We did get a bearish close here in the 15-minute, but we're starting to retrace over here. We got the 30-minute bearish close as well. All right, but price keeps rejecting these areas. So you got to be careful in here. A lot of people get very antsy. They want to take a trade. Just stay calm, stay composed, and don't be jumpy at all. No emotional decisions. There you go. All right. Anybody else want to break down the chart?
I think I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna pick a pair I have never charted before or never even traded. Let's go with dollar Swissy, USD CHF.
USD. There we go. Some different pairs going on here. Oh wow.
Man, that's a mess.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a mess. All right, so I'm gonna take a stab at charting this one.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice little challenge for you.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Whew. All right, let me
Yeah,
get
a lot of no trade ranges.
I mean, seriously. All right, so let me see now. Where to start in this mess? My God. How about we start with current resistance? So right now we can see we have a resistance here. If we drag it to the left, you can see it kind of extends through this mess all the way back over here. So we have some areas where we have it as support, resistance, resistance. God only knows what this thing was. This looks like this is a news candle for sure, because there's no way that's a normal candle. So we'd have to go back to 2015 to figure out exactly what this candle was, but you can see it broke to high, turned around, went all the way low, tapped back into this area of support, did a liquidity grab before moving back up again, creating a higher low and breaking through this area.
Well done.
Second head. Okay, now I'm going to put a support zone. Let's go with this low right here. And you can see this is clearly all the way over to the left, right there.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, see that she came right down, literally tapped her right into this area, came down here and moved away. So we've been above this area for a little while now, actually for the past, let me see, 2015, 2014 really was the last time we actually created support in this area. It's now 2022, 2021, we came back down to it 7 years later. So we've been on somewhat of a good bullish run until we got here. You can see clearly to the left, we actually had clean traffic on the way down, came up, established resistance, didn't exactly tap this level, but broke all the way back down to here. On this bull move, you can see we came up, established support. Actually, excuse me, support was created here. We retested support here, moved away again. Created this resistance area, retested this resistance, tried to come back up again, failed, and moved away.
Now, how about this area right here? Is this anything of interest to you?
It is, but this is one of those things where I'm going to agree with Carlos. This is a barcode, man.
Oh.
This is really
Yes, sir.
pure garbage. But we have that resistance here, resistance. So you can see we've gotten multiple rejections to this area. We did get a couple of breaks where it looks like we did more of a liquidity grab, tap into this upper resistance, the higher resistance, and then moved away back below the zone again. Tried to break it again, tapped it, respected it, and finally rolled over to the low.
Okay. Makes sense. So now, you're all good with the...
There's one thing here that's a little appealing to me, and this is, I should have put a zone, but that's this area. And that's because this is price, this is the current support that we're holding. You can see it was support before, support again. We had some bottom wick rejections, liquidity grabs before moving away. Same thing, bottom wick rejection, kind of a range, moved away. Bottom wick rejections on a bull move, and then moved away.
Well done, man. It's a great level right there. Weekly.
All right. So on the weekly, grab my little zone here. You can see we clearly have a resistance area here. Now this may not be the tightest resistance area. As we drop down into the lower time frames, we'll be able to clean that up a little bit more, but it's an area that we need to be aware of. And we actually may adjust that zone a little lower. And the reason why I'm going to adjust a little lower is because of this. You can see that this area of support was the last area it used before it springboarded up here. So we've had for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 weeks, we've been on a bull run before we finally retrace, creating support here, coming up here, creating a lower high, establishing resistance here. And now we're starting to push back down. So the question in my mind is, are we going to hold this area, or are we going to do this? Break down, come down again, and to fall over. So, but I want to keep an eye on this one, and so we'll mark this level as we get lower into the lower time frame, because we'll probably find a cleaner area to market. But this is an area we probably want to keep an eye on only because of this very large move. You can see we have support here. Came back, created a higher low. No liquidity grab, just created a higher low. But at the same time, we created a lower high. So this is, to me, it's kind of a squeeze play. And you can see when you line that up, it lines up somewhat perfectly with this zone where it came back down, finally tapped it before moving away.
Well done. Well done. Get the daily now. And Jamie, if you don't mind, you mind if I use the bathroom really quickly?
Absolutely.
Just don't want you to rush anything. Thanks, buddy. 1 second, guys.
Mhm.
All right. Sorry about that. Let's get right back into it, Jamie.
No problem. So let me go up here. What I'd like to do is take this zone and bring it down here
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to see what it was.
and just kind of clean them up there a little bit, make them a little thinner. Thank you.
We're good?
Yep, that's good on him. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a zone right, and let me grab my little tool. I'm going to put one right here.
Okay.
A little bit higher, but you know what I mean, in that area there. Okay, I'll make them. Oh, yep, perfect. All right. So actually, we may have. Let me think about that one for a moment. As I go through, I'll tell you whether we're going to keep that one or just take this one and squeeze him down here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Clear this one out, drag him down, make him skinnier. Or thinner, I should say. Perfect.
Yeah, how's that look?
That looks good. That looks good. So now I'm gonna do my tail of the candles real quick if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
All right, so we can see where this area where I brought up earlier where we had that springboard push, and you can see it's been on a beautiful bullish move. We took a breather here, created support, doing a little liquidity grab before springboarding up again. Same thing here, establishing another higher low, creating support, springboarding up again until finally hitting exhaustion here. You can see this first bear candle was a nice small bear candle indecision. This next one was really your indicator that, okay, we're going to start to roll over. We had this huge top wick, small bullish body, closed underneath this previous bearish candle. Small top wick, straight move down, and we've moved away nicely. Came here, respected this same support level, created support again. Bullish candle, creating some sort of resistance, but not really, just kind of respecting the area. And we had this next bearish engulfing candle breaking down below and pushing below. We created this bottom wick, beautiful top wick equally, came down and retouched this area. Created support here, and you can see this is just a barcode mess in here. So for a few days, we just kind of ranged in there, didn't know what we wanted to do. We needed either some technicals or some sort of fundamental to break us out of here. So I'd be curious to see what transpired in this area that actually got us to finally break out. You can see we created a beautiful bottom wick, rejecting this once consolidation zone and springboarding up.
Yep.
Way to the top.
That could have been the rise in interest rates.
Could be. Could be. Came back up to retest the same area of resistance again. Top wick rejection, bearish engulfing, the beautiful bottom wick that was left by the previous bull candle, and we came down to fill that bottom wick. This move is just, what is this? What triggered this move is the question that I'm asking in my head right now. Could you measure that candle for me? Because I'm curious to see just how big of a move was that.
Was this last week? So this was this is the tank in the stock market, right? US 30. Like, it's a lot of fear in the market right now, right?
There you go.
CHF. I'm wondering if they rose interest rates last week, something like that. We could check after this, but I wanted to ask you also, what does this formation look like it could be playing out as?
This is a double top here.
There you go.
This is your neckline right here.
Too.
Yeah. So what we're waiting for really is we're waiting for price. You can see price finally broke below this area of support, now turn resistance. Beautiful bearish candle, top wick rejection, bottom wick as well, kind of equal to the low, but now we have this bearish candle, small top wick to the top, beautiful candle heading down. So now, do we have enough volume, being that we're on this downward move, to come down here and do this? These are going to be beautiful selves down here. We'll have to keep an eye on this area because price may hesitate and create more of a, lower high, lower low type thing. Sorry. And then before breaking down and moving down it. So.
All right. 4 hour.
Yes. This mess continues. Okay, we can see we clearly have consolidation here. But what's interesting in that consolidation is we continued to make higher lows. So we kind of created this wedge pattern where we wedged up against the top of resistance here before finally breaking out and continuing on. We came back down, respect this one support that it created, the small support, but confirming that we've held a support area before moving on again. Up here, can you slide that down a little bit for me? There we go.
There you go.
So we can see definitely confirming the double top as we started to move into lower time frames. Here was the neckline on that double top.
Yes,
Broke
sir.
through this one support, now created resistance, topic rejection, beautiful topic rejection before finally rolling over. We had so much momentum and volume coming in that we actually broke this support, which once held this previous area consolidation. So we had no problem breaking that level. Came back up, retested it, created a little lower low, came up again, retested it once more, small wick to the top. You can consider that a small liquidity grab. For a true liquidity grab for me, I'd rather see the wick do something like this and then move away immediately. But we tap right back into that previous area of support before now moving down. We're heading into this area, which you can see there's a area of support here, but this entire area is kind of a consolidation zone. So we're not doing anything other than tapping back into previous consolidation right now.
Is this level right over here that you're tapping into? There you go. Is that strong for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just
Yeah, you can clearly see we've tapped into that a couple of times. We've moved away from it, creating support. So now do we have enough volume to push us through, or are we just going to dance around in between there?
Great
We
question.
could be doing this.
Yes, sir.
So
Next, drag that across,
yeah,
and then 1 hour.
clean this one up a little bit, just kind of thin them out a little bit more. No, this one. If you squeeze the chart in, you can see where it's kind of clean him up. He's a little bit wide.
I'm trying to find the I can't find it. So we're going to do this. How's that?
Good, beautiful.
All right. So now zooming in on our 1 hour.
Okay, so we clearly see zooming in on the 1 hour. We have started to create we created higher low. So this was the last lower high that we had. Came down, created this lower low, came up, created a lower high, moved away again. Now this was a beautiful double bottom that we created at this area of support. Broke this neckline. You can see we created a slightly lower high, but huge momentum to the upside, coming back into this area, retesting this once turn support. Now it's turning resistance, confirming, and we've been heading down ever since. So you can see we've had small areas of resistance created, just enough to allow price to breathe, collect more orders before moving down again. So the question is, with this candle, what are we doing? You can see it's engulfing the previous bearish candle, but all we've really done is fill this top wick. So we have an area here that you can see is tapping back into, which was support, now turning resistance. So the question is going to be, are we going to break above it, or are we just going to collect the orders before moving down, doing this?
Yes, sir.
But this is an area, though, I'd like to just kind of mark off, because it's something that we need to just, as we go down on lower time frames, we'll just kind of be aware of what's going on in there, see what it's telling us.
Absolutely. 30-minute.
30-minute really just tells you to tell. You can clearly see lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Keep going.
Yep. We
finally created a little area of support. Actually, we created support here, respected support, tried to move up. You can see we failed. Topic rejection, broke through this area of support, now turn resistance, retapping into this area of support, which is previously established here and here. So now we're just waiting for price to either break out of this area before attempting to move up, or break below this area before attempting to move down.
And this is your next target.
That's my next target.
I like it. Well done, man. A lot of detail, broken down the candle body anatomy, all your levels, everything is perfect. Great job, man. I'm just trying to go through here and see if there's anything I'd actually do differently, and I don't see any levels I would mark off differently. Get this bearish candle on the daily. Again, following a very bearish move, you got the double top here. So if we break this neckline over here, you continue right back down. 4 hour. Again, this level we keep bouncing off of, right? So below that, you're in a bunch of consolidation, right? And we're bouncing off right now. Looking at the 1 hour. 1 hour, last time we were in this area, we just bounced off really hard, right? We got a very strong 1 hour candle close. Could we get the same thing over here formed? Right? I don't think we're gonna come all the way up here, but you never know. Looking at the 30-minute, it's the same exact thing. I don't think you really have any kind of safe buys until possibly price reaches this. I'm saying safe buys above this area, but if you get a close back into this range right here and a retest like a support held, I could see you taking price up. You got to just see how big this range is. You only got about 25 pips in there, which is definitely tradable. You could grab 10 pips out of that. It's just like the price action to the left isn't the best.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I gotta tell you, because I mean, this you can see it's almost like every other candle, it just kind of flipped. You know, every 2 candles it flipped. And like, what are you doing? I mean, just look at this mess. You know, even on the way up, bull, bear, bull, bear. Like, really? Every 2 candles, every 3 candles?
But good luck trading it.
Very weak trend.
Is this a pair that you've been looking at or something?
No, I just wanted to pick one just random.
Yeah.
To really test and challenge myself to break down a different pair. You know, I'm so used to seeing EJ and UJ and, you know, US 30. I wanted to see a pair that I'd just never seen before.
Yeah. Doing a new pair every day.
Yeah.
We could do that. Definitely do a new pair every day. That's awesome. That's what you want to do. I mean, not that you're going to be trading it, but it's good to like get the practice here. And we could start doing stocks. We could do indices, whatever you guys want to do. Is there anyone in here that wants to do a breakdown themselves? No.
I would like to share how I was looking at GJ. Like sending my chart.
Yeah. No. Perfect. Send it.
How do I do that?
Send it, sir. As you guys could see on GJ, we're now rejecting this resistance up here. Check this chart out. Beautiful. Okay. So what are you looking at here, Quentin?
I was thinking about taking that last candle up on the 15-minute, but I didn't get the bottom wick to enter.
Pass right away.
Yeah. If I did, I'm gonna send the 15-minute too.
And you got no top wick on that candle. But you're looking for this area right here. Your clock just opened. Look at the 15-minute. So you looking for a retest of this area?
No, I mean I wanted to enter here. Opposite here.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I can definitely see that happening. Only thing is, it's like that's risky with this area right here. But if you believe,
only taking it up to here, like we had 27 pips. It's just that I was looking at this being like a straight up fake out, and therefore this area not being as relevant as this one. So as we broke it with strength, I was thinking we had a high probability of breaking easily through here and continuing up.
Yeah.
If I did get, let me just clear that. If I did get a bottom wick here, I would have been able to put my stop just below it, entering on it, breaking the high and taking it up just to the next resistance.
Okay. I like. Yeah. No. This formation makes sense.
Yeah.
Right over here. Especially like when you have the whole trend over here, as you had marked off, the whole thing is kind of like breaking right over here. And that's basically just like what you're playing. You're playing the support held on that trend line and taking price up. You're playing, not that, I mean, this is a 15-minute close. So the question is this strong enough of a support and a strong enough close for you to take this up with barely a bottom wick? You know, like, are we going to end up rejecting this level again? That's why it's like, all right, might as well just wait for this whole range right here, even though you did have 27 pips here. And I like it. Like, I like what you just pointed out, Quinn. But the other thing is, it's like, it's a Monday, start of the week. Do you want to trade in here, or is it better just grabbing this up here? But this is what we said from the beginning too, right? When we first came on and we started breaking this down, I said I could definitely see us holding this support over here. I like the bullish formation. I could definitely see us pushing through that resistance from here.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what ended up happening. So that's good on you. Great breakdown. I think if we hold support here, we could very well continue up. Now, one thing I just want to tell you guys. So I have a very important phone call I have in like 5 minutes. So I wanted to, I know we didn't have the U.S. banks open today, but I still wanted to be able to break down the charts with you and hop on. I didn't plan on trading today. We may be able to get a setup here on GJ today. If we hold support right here, it's up to you if that's enough. I don't really like this rejection right here on the 30-minute. Again, don't be too antsy to trade today. But like I said, I know it's a U.S. bank holiday. I wanted to hop on the chart, do breakdowns, do a full fundamental and technical breakdown, and see what we're expecting this week when it comes to the economic calendar. We have retail sales coming out of Great Britain, so we have plenty of moves coming, in the next couple of days for GJ. So you don't have to trade this, right? You don't feel compelled to trade this. You have plenty of volume coming into the market for the rest of the week. Manufacturing and services PMI coming out for Great Britain as well. You have some MPC members speaking. We have unemployment coming out for the U.S. We have manufacturing and services coming out for all other pairs as well. So it's a lighter week, nothing like major like NFP or interest rates or anything like that this week, but we do have some good data coming out. Just going to be a little bit slower than normal. All right. So guys, I want you guys to have a great day, great start to the week. Hold your standards high this week. Make sure that you're getting at least 1 hour back testing in every single day. Recording your journals. Your success depends on all of this stuff. I was talking to Jacob last night about this. Like, implementing this stuff into your everyday routine is what's going to make you a better trader. So even when you don't feel like doing it, do it. I know it's hard. We've all been there. We're all human as well, right? But you've got to be able to fight that voice. Have to be able to fight that voice in the back of your head telling you don't have to do it. It takes too long. It's bullshit. I don't need this to be successful. Anything like that. That's just that devil in your head just telling you that, you don't need things. And for very well that this is what's going to make you better. And it's hard at first. It's annoying at first. But at the end of the day, you got to make it happen. And you have to do it. So let's have a great week this week. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm going to be doing a full fundamental and technical breakdown with Sharma as well. We'll be posting that on YouTube. I'll post that in the group as well. And let's have a great fucking week, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Luke, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Quentin, I'll see you at 9 a.m. And then I think that's about it. Sammy, we have something scheduled. We definitely do. Hold on. Check the calendar. Sammy, yes, tomorrow, 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, brother.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a great day, okay?
All right.
All right, see you later, man.
Bye, guys.